welcome back to this already the final segment of today's Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. And I want to mention real quickly, props to the Astros. I hope they keep up another great performance in the days to come, and looking forward to reeling in a big victory. Also looking forward to spending some time with my friend Marc Krasney with the Krasney Law Firm. That's Krasney, lawfirm.com. Mark, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Kevin. Thank you. How are you?
Great, thanks. Real quickly, talk about the Krasney Law Firm. What makes it unique?
Well, just think of all the companies out there that have an in-house counsel. What do the small businesses do who can't afford them? And so to solve that problem, we started our law firm. And so for a monthly fee, the same monthly fee, we are your outsourced in-house counsel. So any questions you have for your business, any documents to be reviewed, any strategy meetings and things like that, we're involved at the beginning. So hopefully at the back end, there aren't any major surprises, lawsuits, expenses, things like that.
Very good. Each time we get you on the show, you bring a topic to us. What do you got for us today?
Well, we've talked about before observing corporate formalities. I thought it'd be interesting to bring that up again because so many people, when they get involved in their business, whether doing the service or creating the widget, they forget that they gave birth to an entity, whether it's an LLC, a partnership, or a corporation, and they just start doing things. And they forget to observe corporate formalities. And so what I thought we'd do is talk about some of the pitfalls that are associated with not observing those formalities.
Great. Go right ahead. Jump right in with that.
Well, here's some examples. Say you're involved in a business. Say you're a corporation. You've been going on for a year or two. You sign a document. You think you're binding your company to either do a service or make a widget. You're signing a contract, but you sign it as Kevin Price. When you're doing it, you're just signing it real quick. The contract may or may not be in the name of the corporate name or some sort of corporate name. You sign it. Well, then you decide you can't pay for it. Your company is going down. Well, that vendor comes forward and says, hey, wait, Kevin, you signed a document. You're going to say, no, that was supposed to be for my company. And that vendor says, well, you didn't sign it as an officer. You didn't actually put on there the correct corporate name. You just put your name on it. Well, a few pitfalls just happen there. You may or may not actually have bound your company, and you may or may not have bound yourself personally, and thus subjecting personal assets to pay for a vendor contract that you intended to be in the name of this company. I know that sounds kind of crazy right now because I've kind of made it really simple, but I promise you, more times than not, that happens.
Yeah, it's what it sounds very legalistic, but that's the way the law is.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're the vendor, you want to get paid, and you're going to make whatever argument possible to make sure you get paid. And frankly, again, 9 times out of 10, that vendor's actually right. And so while if your business was going out of business, you were trying to file bankruptcy or something, this contract might be removed, and now we have to focus on how we get you personally out of the obligations in that contract because you, as an officer of the company, didn't observe corporate formalities. Huge issue. Let me give you another example. Say you have a company already set up. You have gone on for 3 or 4 years. You forget, as the corporation, to pay the franchise tax because you realize you don't have to in that you didn't make enough money. People do that all the time, too. This year we didn't do so well, so we don't have to pay franchise taxes. That might be true, but there's still a report that has to be filed, a no tax due report. So many people don't file those reports or forget, and all of a sudden you've lost your corporate charter. Now what do you do?
Ooh, yeah, that's interesting. And so, and if a company's never qualified for the franchise tax, are they required to pay, fill out the form every year anyway?
Every year, whether or not you actually meet the threshold to pay money, you still fill out a form. And that form can be just a no tax due form, and you also fill out a public information report. Both of those have to be filed every year, regardless of whether you actually have to pay money. And failure to file those forms, I know that sounds so simple, failure to file those forms could result in a forfeiture of your charter. And if your charter is forfeited, the shareholders could have individual liability because we've now not observed corporate formalities and the state says, poof, the entity's gone.
Wow. So everyone, obviously, this is why, having an attorney in your corner, to me makes a lot of sense. It really does. And, even if you don't have really, and I'm kind of going all over the place, but honestly, what you do seems so relevant in light of the context of what we're talking about. Having that chief legal counsel for hire, a virtual chief legal counsel, just makes a lot of sense.
I agree with that, and I would take it a step further and say also a really good bookkeeper and or CPA, because there's a lot of other pitfalls financially that companies get involved in, and just a little bit of money spent trying to keep those things secure and to keep the business safe will pay off tremendously in the long run.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes perfect sense. Any final thoughts as we wrap it up?
Well, you always ask me, too, about how the economy's doing. And while I think it is slowing down for some industries, it's actually picking up for others. And so it's not as bad as it was, say, 7 years ago, not as great as it was about a year ago. But I think things are okay and fine on a business side in the Houston market.
Good. I'm glad you chimed in with that, because I do usually ask that, and that's an important question. Marc Krasney, he's with the Krasney Law Firm. That's KrasneyLawFirm.com. Make sure you check him out. And I tell you, if you don't have someone that you can regularly refer to, you really need to figure out how to solve that issue, because it can come to haunt you. KrasneyLawFirm.com. All right, when we come back tomorrow, we're going to have much more for you. Do want to remind you the show continues 24/7 at priceofbusiness.com. Have a great rest of your day and spend it wisely on this station.